Oh, the food tastes awful again. It's hard to enjoy it when you're so unhappy. Marrying you was a mistake, and being born into this family feels like another mistake. Having two sick people in the house is exhausting. Whenever my husband looks at me, he just complains. I don't want his words to upset his sick parents. My name's Chloe. I'm 34. We've been married for 5 years. We met through a friend when I was 29 and my husband was 31. After finishing college, I lost both my parents to illness one after the other. My husband, Sam, wanted to get married quickly, and I thought he was serious about it. But now I think he just didn't want to be left behind because all his friends were getting married. We started talking about marriage after only 6 months of dating, and I met his family. They were nicer to me than I expected, especially when they found out my parents had passed away. His mom helped me with the wedding planning like my own mom would have, and I was really thankful. So, I didn't mind the idea of living with his parents after we got married. Actually, I felt very welcomed. Chloe, your coffee tastes really good. Thanks. My dad, who passed away, loved coffee, and I do too because of him. Sometimes I even blend different types of beans myself. I was so passionate about coffee that I wanted to open a cafe with my dad someday. After my dad died, I lost my love for making coffee, but my father-in-law really likes the coffee I make. When I see how happy he is drinking it, it reminds me of my dad, and sometimes I cry. But my husband Sam doesn't care much about coffee. He can't even tell if it's instant or brewed from beans. He always says instant is probably better. I love cooking, but Sam doesn't seem to care about food. He never compliments my cooking and thinks all food tastes the same. But my mother-in-law enjoys cooking with me, which makes me happy. I always wanted to cook with a daughter like her. Chloe, you know so many recipes. You've been teaching me a lot, thank you. I love cooking with you every day. Sam didn't help with chores, but my in-laws always appreciated what I did. So married life was good. But 2 years ago, my mother-in-law got sick. She didn't need to go to the hospital, but she had to rest sometimes. Chloe, I'm sorry. I'm feeling better today, so I can help with chores a bit. Please take a break sometimes. I'm okay, don't worry about it. But Mom, Chloe is really good at housework. Sam, don't say that. Do you realize how much Chloe helps us every day? You can work without worry because Chloe is here. You should show some gratitude. Taking care of my husband's parents is something I'm grateful for. It's not hard for me to look after my mother-in-law, but it bothers me that Sam doesn't appreciate me. After my mother-in-law got sick, Sam started complaining about the house being gloomy. He began coming home late and working more on his days off. Then I noticed makeup on his clothes, lingering perfume, and other suspicious signs. When I confronted him, he admitted to having an affair. He said he met her at a bar where he went with colleagues because he didn't want to come home early and help with caregiving. I was shocked by his lack of guilt and the ridiculousness of his excuse for cheating. It made me angry and frustrated to think he was doing this while I was taking care of the house and his mother. But my father-in-law got really mad and scolded Sam, who seemed to feel really sorry at that moment. He said sorry and promised not to cheat again. So I decided not to divorce him. But honestly, I was more worried about leaving my sick mother-in-law than staying with Sam. I couldn't imagine Sam taking care of his mom, and I thought it would be hard for my father-in-law, who was still working, to do it alone. Then, when my father-in-law turned 65, he retired. On the day he retired, Sam was more interested in how much money he'd get from his dad's pension than appreciating his dad's years of work. It seemed like Sam was counting on getting some of his dad's pension, but his dad's answer was totally unexpected. I can't give you any money from my pension, he said. I'll only get enough to live on. What? So why did I put up with everything all this time, taking care of my mother-in-law and living with her? What are you talking about? You barely do anything to help your mom. Just living in the same house doesn't count as taking care of her. After that, Sam's mean words got worse. It seems he only acted sorry when caught cheating because he was hoping to get some of his dad's pension. I should have married a richer woman. This marriage was a mistake. Stop it, Sam. Chloe has been good to you. Shut up. My mom is just a bother. How can you talk about your own mom like that? This house is so sad. I'm stuck with a useless wife, a boring dad, and a bothersome mom. Even though his father-in-law warned him many times, Sam wouldn't listen, so he started working more, even on weekends. I can't help but think he's cheating again, just like before. But then my father-in-law fell in the garden and hurt his back badly, so he couldn't get out of bed. Taking care of my in-laws was hard, but they cared for me and always seemed sorry, so I didn't mind too much. But it bothered me that Sam wouldn't help at all. I'm sure my in-laws would be happier if their own son took care of them instead of me, who isn't related by blood. Sam, can't you help with your parents? Why should I? They're your parents, not mine. Can't you at least be nice to them? I got stuck with a bad wife, and now I'm stuck with bad parents too. I just can't catch a break. I can't help but think my in-laws are the real losers for having a son like me. I still have a feeling that Sam might be cheating, but I can't leave because my in-laws are sick. If I go, Sam will probably neglect them. I don't want to stay married to him, but I can't ask for a divorce because I worry about my in-laws. Then Sam said he was going to Hawaii for Christmas with his friends. You're going to Hawaii for Christmas? Yeah, I'm not spending my holiday in this sad house. I need a break in sunny Hawaii. Don't you want to stay here and spend Christmas with your parents? No way. Who'd want to spend their vacation here? Who I go with is none of your business. Is it a woman? Shut up. Why do you care? You're just like last time, denying everything. He must be cheating again. I wasn't surprised to find out, but I was disappointed in Sam's attitude. He didn't seem sorry at all. It hurt to realize he didn't see me as his wife. I work hard every day. I don't need constant fun. But Sam, we're married. Shouldn't we at least have some basic respect for each other? I don't see it that way. You're just here to take care of my parents, like a maid. That's awful. If you feel that way, let's get a divorce. Don't bother me, especially since you have nowhere else to go. Just stay quiet and do your job. I don't want to stay married to him after this. I want to say I'm okay with divorcing him and leave. I can handle it on my own. But now that my in-laws are both bedridden, I can't leave them. But taking care of them is hard, and I don't know how we'll manage if I leave. Even if I put them in a care facility, I don't know if they'll both get in right away, and it's expensive. Can their pensions cover it all? Even if I work, I don't know if I can earn enough. I have my own life to think about too. It's all really worrying. But after everything, I can't stay with my husband anymore. You're worried about Sam, right? Yes, it seems we raised our son wrong. I'm sorry for what he's done to you. You don't have to worry about us. Do what you need to do. That's right, Chloe. You should be free. But I can't just leave. I can't leave everything to Sam. My in-laws care about me so much, even more than their own health. Their words touch my heart, and I feel even more determined not to leave them. And while I stay quiet, my husband talks about his affair like it's no big deal. I'm going out with her again. I'll be back late. Huh? It's better to have dinner with her than look at my face, right? But you know I'm cheating, and you still won't leave. So you've basically accepted it, right? It's like you approve of the affair, but nobody has given approval. Staying here means you have. You're just holding on to me because you can't survive on your own. It's really pathetic that I can't even say anything back to my husband who says such hurtful things. I cry in frustration, but when my husband sees my tears, he just laughs even more. It's heartbreaking to see him like this. What am I doing? My in-laws keep apologizing to me for their son's behavior, but it's also painful to see them like that. Maybe it would be better if I wasn't here. Maybe because I'm here, my husband relies on me too much regarding his parents. But even if I feel that way, if my husband doesn't change, I'll regret leaving forever. There's no guarantee he'll change. Then, the day before Christmas Eve, my husband brought up divorce. I want a divorce. I prefer younger women. Huh? But you can stay here as a housekeeper, meaning things will stay the same. You'll live here for free, so think of it as your salary. With that, he put a signed divorce form in front of me. I understand. Of course, I won't become a housekeeper, as he suggests. But I also don't want to be his wife anymore. There's a limit to how much you can disrespect someone. I'm sure my husband knows I could leave his parents. That's why he can say these things so boldly. Knowing that makes me even more angry and frustrated. Well, take good care of them, okay? The next morning, my husband left happily for his trip to Hawaii. Even if I left him, I wanted to stay with my in-laws, but it wasn't that simple. I had to let Christmas pass without him. But without him, the day was peaceful, with no complaints. The three of us enjoyed Christmas dinner together, laughing while watching TV. Even though I knew I had to think about the future, I wished this peaceful time could last forever. And then, from the TV, I heard the Christmas song start. "Merry Christmas, I'm used to." Suddenly, my father-in-law sat up in bed. "All right, let's get going, dear." "Okay," my mother-in-law replied as she quickly stood up. "What's going on?" "Merry Christmas, Chloe." "Merry Christmas." "Merry Christmas, but is your back okay? How are you feeling?" When I asked, they looked at each other and smiled. Then my dad gave me surprising news. On December 30th, my husband Sam came back from his trip. He called me sounding panicked. "Hey, what's going on? Where are you? I can't reach Mom or Dad." "Well, your parents have been busy with Christmas stuff, so they're resting." "Where did you take them? Did you kidnap them?" "No way. They decided to go on their own. They were supposed to be unable to move. You took them without asking? They can move around just fine on their own." "What?" As soon as the Christmas song started, my in-laws stood up. Seeing my shocked face, my father-in-law said, "It's time for a fresh start," and laughed. Turns out his back pain had healed, and my mother-in-law had gotten better over the last 6 months. But because of Sam's mean words, my father-in-law made a plan. He told my mother-in-law about it, and she agreed. Since Sam got a job at a big company after college, he became more arrogant. He'd often stay out late, but they weren't too worried because he was single. When he married me, his parents hoped he'd settle down. But 2 years ago, when his mom got sick, he didn't take care of her and cheated on me. He acted sorry, but his dad sensed something wasn't right. As his dad's retirement neared, Sam started talking about the pension, showing his greed. They knew he was being fake just to get the money. But when Sam found out there was no pension, he showed his true colors. This confirmed his father-in-law's suspicions. Actually, his dad got more pension, but he didn't tell Sam because he knew Sam wanted it. If Sam had been nice to his mom and me, they would have shared the money with him, even without the pension. "It's sad it didn't happen that way," said his father-in-law sadly. When he fell and hurt his back, Sam said, "If you're bedridden now, you'll just be a burden." That made his dad stop seeing Sam as his son. So the parents decided to act like they were bedridden and make plans. He said sorry for causing me trouble. During that time, I noticed a "for sale" sign on our house. Why was it there? The meaning was pretty clear. Don't waste time. Our house was put up for sale. We moved out. What? I didn't know anything about this. Exactly. I don't want to live with you anymore, so I didn't tell you. My father-in-law bought a new house with his savings. The old house was supposed to be sold by a real estate agent, and we were supposed to leave by Christmas. But since we weren't going anywhere, we waited until yesterday when Sam left for his trip. It was funny how my father-in-law joked about moving when the Christmas songs played, but it felt like a new beginning for me too. All I had left to do was pack my stuff, which was easy. The movers were already booked, and everything was moved out by the 28th. "Dad, did Sam get enough money from the pensions?" "He didn't tell you because he wanted it all for himself." "What about the money from selling the house?" "I'm his son, so I should get a share. It's my right. Your dad is still alive, so it's not inheritance, right? But you know he's determined to spend all his money before he dies, so you won't get anything. He's still my dad. He doesn't want to be your dad anymore." "Oh, and don't worry. I've already started divorce proceedings. But he bought a new house. When Dad dies, it'll be mine." "Oh, the house my father-in-law kindly put in my name. There might be gift tax, but I think I can handle it with the property I'll get from you." "What?" This was the second time I caught my husband cheating, and he dumped all of his parents' care on me while he kept abusing me daily. I've been a homemaker for 5 years. With everything considered, I was told I'd get a fair share of our property. My father-in-law already talked to a lawyer about it. Your things are in storage, though there wasn't much. The lawyer has the key and will contact you later. Where am I supposed to go now? I don't know. Figure it out. That's not helpful. I told my girlfriend I'd be living in a nice house with a maid. Without a house or you, I'll look bad. I couldn't believe he said that to me. It reminded me he only thinks about himself. I didn't even want to talk anymore, so I hung up. Maybe you can do wrong without getting caught. My ex-husband's boss saw him in Hawaii during a work trip and found out. His company has strict rules, so he got demoted and a big pay cut. After my lawyer contacted the woman my ex-husband was seeing, she disappeared. Sadly, my ex-husband keeps asking to get back together, but I won't agree to that. Now he's struggling to pay his bills because he spent a lot on his mistress. He begged my lawyer to reunite us, crying about his problems, but the lawyer said no. Then my father-in-law recorded my ex's verbal abuse, and the lawyer was upset, saying it wasn't okay. So it's no surprise my father-in-law bought an old house with good air. I'm planning to turn it into a cozy cafe. We discuss ideas every day, trying to make it work. I don't know if it'll succeed, but I'm giving it my all. Seeing my in-laws happy makes me happier than anything else. I want us to keep living together, enjoying good coffee and getting along.